Hey Detroit, it's your girl Tina with Spectacle Society, and I wanted to tell you a little story today. It's a story about the power of expressive eyewear. So if you followed along at all, you know that I have my background in fine art photography. I actually went to school for it, and that's how I fell in love with optics, was taking classes about how my camera worked, and just never looked back. I absolutely have adored my life as an optician. And this story comes from my very first year working as an optician. I worked for a small doctor's office. I was one of only 2 opticians. We were very tiny. We didn't have very many frames in the store. And I remember in particular one day, this woman walked in with her daughter, and she was so timid and so shy. And it just looked like she wanted to curl up in a corner and not be noticed. She just looked like she was so uncomfortable. And she went back to see the doctor, and the doctor brought her out and said, "Hey, Tina, this is so-and-so, and she needs her very first pair of glasses. Can you help her?" And I looked into that little girl's eyes, and she was probably around 11 or 12. It's a tough age for girls. And she had tears welling up in her eyes. And her mom was trying her hardest to be really positive. "Oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna find the best pair," and just started pulling a million things out and putting her daughter into glasses that just made her feel awful. And I watched this little girl. And I'm talking to her mom, but I'm watching her, and she just looks like she's getting more and more upset. And so I start talking to her and asking her a little bit about her life, and she doesn't really want to say much, but I noticed that she is wearing this baby pink oversized hoodie, and she's got a little leopard headband on. And I thought, I know I have a pair of glasses here that's like a pink leopard that might fit. I thought, let me just see if it strikes a chord with her. And so I asked her if she would be okay if I suggested something, and she nodded her head. And I went and picked up this one frame. I didn't bring over a ton. I wanted to see how she responded. And I put the frame down in front of her, and her eyes lit up. And I could see the wheels turning. And I was like, "Go ahead and try it on. Let's just see. Just try it on for me." And she put it on, and she looked in the mirror, and the world's biggest smile came across her face. She just was enamored with this look. She just loved it. It spoke to her, and you could tell how happy it made her. Now, I have to tell you, this was not her mom's style at all. But I looked at her mom and I was like, I think we found her glasses. I think this is her pair. And her mom was a little hesitant, but she looked at her and she said, "Well, what do you think?" And the little girl looked up and said, Can I have these?" And mom just looked shocked and said, Sure. And I'm so grateful for her mom for giving in, because it was not her style at all. But we finished writing everything up, and I said, "Okay, well, as soon as they're ready, I'm gonna give you a call." And the little girl said thank you, and she was still very quiet, but she left. And a few weeks later, when the glasses came in, she ran in from the car. She was so excited, and she was so animated. It was like she was a completely different girl. I didn't know what was going on, but she was so excited. She put them on. She loved them. She was just beaming. She could not believe how great she looked. She loved them so much. And she gave me a hug, and I was so taken back, but I loved it. And I was like, "Well, I'm so glad we could find you something that you love." And then she left, and I didn't expect to hear from her, except 2 weeks later. She came in, and she actually came in with her mom and a friend, and her and her girlfriend were talking. And it was, who is this kid, right? and she just needed an adjustment. And then she told her mom that, they were done. Could they go to the car? And so they did. And her mom stuck around and said, Tina, I don't know if you know this, but that pair of glasses has changed her life. She never had very many friends before. She didn't feel comfortable. She felt awkward in her own skin. She had a hard time connecting with people. I was constantly trying to get her to join clubs or meet friends, have people over, and she just didn't. She's like, but she loves how she looks in this pair so much. And she's gotten so many compliments at school that it started conversations. And that girl out there is the first kid we have had over to play in years. Like, they're just hanging out and they're having a great time. And she feels so good about herself. And it was that moment for me that made me realize that the power of eyewear can be so transformative. We can do so many things with eyewear to help you express who you are to the world. And at that time, it wasn't something people were looking at eyewear for. It was strictly a medical device. So, it was definitely something that changed things for me. And since then, since that very day, I've made it my mission to make sure that if you are in a pair of glasses from me, that you love the way you look, love the way you feel, love the way you see through them. I want you to be over the moon about how you feel about yourself in these glasses. I want them to help you express who you are to the world. Now, over the years, I've had lots of people come back and say to me, my God, Tina, I didn't feel like I was really ever wearing glasses that really made me feel like me or that projected who I was. I've had people just say how much they love hearing about how great they look and how amazing, their glasses look on them. And that is wonderful. But I have to tell you, it all started with this little girl. And I have helped thousands of people over the years get eyewear that expresses who they are, and it is a game changer. So I definitely want to encourage you, if you have not picked out a pair of glasses that expresses some part of who you are, a facet of your personality, expresses your individuality, or makes you feel good when you look in the mirror, that is the next thing you should be doing when you get eyewear. It will change everything. Now, you may not have a massive transformation like this little girl. I mean, she still sticks in my heart to this day. But I've had people say, God, I really love how great I look in these. I feel so good in them. And sometimes just that boost of confidence makes all the difference. I love to help show people the beauty in their uniqueness, to help them embrace different aspects of their personality. And eyewear is just an incredible medium to help do that. So definitely take a moment when you're looking at your next pair of glasses and ask yourself, do I feel good in these? When I look in the mirror, do I think, oh, I look good, right? Like, oh, she cute. Like, ask yourself those questions, right? And if the answer is no, then don't buy it. Make it a point, do something good for yourself, and get yourself a pair of glasses that you're in love with. I promise it's gonna change your world. Have a great day, Detroit.